Today we're talking all about designing a brand new amazing decade and how to take those first steps into living the life that you truly desire. Welcome to another video. For those of you who are new here, my name is Nena and I'm a life coach that specializes in personal development. Here at this channel, we talk about everything having to do with our emotional well-being, understanding our own psychology, and living our most awesome life possible. So if you aren't already a subscriber, please go ahead and become one. We definitely want you to stay connected. So today's video is part 2 in a series about designing our new wonderful decade. So if you missed our first video, don't worry, I'm going to link it in the description box below. And in that video, we really talked about how to reflect on the last 10 years and see what areas of our life still need growth, what needs closure, where we still need healing, the things that we want to keep in our lives, and the things that we really feel that it's time to let go of. So it's really important that we are starting this new decade with a completely clean slate. So we are going to do another journaling exercise. So again, if you have a self-growth journal, go ahead and get it out. And if not, just grab a piece of paper and write down these questions, because we're going to use the answers to really make an action plan going forward. This is a really exciting thing to journal about because it's all about making improvements, making upgrades, and really starting fresh. There is nothing better than starting fresh. Think about this decade as the only time we're going to see double digits. I think that's really cool. So 2020, we weren't able to see 1919, and we will most likely not see 2121. So this is a very special decade, and we want to make sure that we are designing it to be the most fulfilling and exciting one yet. Our last journal exercise was all about the past, and now we are going to focus completely on the future. So we want to make sure in this process that we are not self-editing. And what I mean by that is we want to make sure that we are giving our true and honest answers regardless of what limiting beliefs that we may have. So number 1 is to describe, again without inhibitions, anything that you are inspired about, anything that you would love to be included in the next 10 years of your life, you're going to include on that list. Number 2, we want to write down all the positive qualities that your future self possesses. So this is probably going to be a combination of character traits that you already possess and character traits that are either emerging or not quite there yet, or ones that you haven't really started to work on, but that you want to possess in the future. So once you write all of those out, you want to take a moment to then circle the ones that don't really apply yet. So for example, if you want to be confident, but you're not really there yet, you would go ahead and circle confident. Number 3 is, what habits will I need to either adopt or change going forward in the future, and why? In number 4, we want to explore what our day-to-day life would look like in the future. What do you want it to look like? You want to think about where you would be, what you would be doing, how you'd be thinking, and how you would be feeling. So on a typical average day in the future, what would you like that day to look like? For number 5, we're going to think all about goals, both small goals and big long-term goals. So if there are things that you know you want to accomplish during the 2020 year and beyond, you want to go ahead and write those things down. Things that you are passionate about, the things that you are dreaming about, all those goals that you are already aware of, you want to make sure you write down. Number 6 is, what do I need more of in my life? And you can answer that question in any way it speaks to you. So it could be something emotional in nature, it could be something physical in nature. What are the things that you feel that you are lacking now and that you need more of in your life? Number 7, this is a fun one. What are 5 things that you could do to get yourself out of the comfort zone? So the things that you know that you typically do all the time, what are ways that you could make changes? What are ways and strategies that you could use to pull yourself out of that comfort zone and to start to adopt new habits and rituals in your life? Number 8, this is important. How am I going to show myself more love? It is imperative that we are showing ourselves self-love and self-acceptance all of the time. So how are you going to do this on a stronger and more regular basis? Number 9, how am I going to add more happiness into my life? So how am I going to increase happiness throughout the next decade? What are steps and measures that I could take to ensure that I was continuing to constantly add more and more happiness? Number 10, what things can I do to become healthier in the new year and in the new decade? So what things can I think of right now that I could change to make myself healthier, both mentally and physically? Number 11, what am I most excited for in the next decade? So think about all the things that could potentially happen and write them down, and think about what things give you life even just to think about. What is making you most excited about moving forward into 2020? Number 12, what are the obstacles I see for the future, and how am I going to overcome them? What are the things that I know will probably come up for me, and how am I going to challenge them and still move forward? Number 13, we're going to go a little deeper, and that is, what are the things that I want in my life or want to try in my life, but I've been too scared to do so in the past. So think about the things that you know are true desires, but you've been held back from in the last decade. Number 14 is, where do I still need growth in my life? So go ahead and think about the areas in your life that it is still absolutely evident that you need to grow in, the things that still need work. How can I make this growth a reality? What are steps that I could take right now to start with this process? So we want to think about all the actionable steps that could possibly be taken to make this growth a reality for us. So number 15 is really important, and that is, how am I going to stay motivated? So we all know after New Year's, about 2 weeks later, all our resolutions are usually in the garbage can. We've completely given up, and we certainly don't want that to be the case this time. So what measures are you going to put in place ahead of time to make sure that you keep working in the direction of your new goals and desires? How are you going to make sure that you stay motivated? So you want to take all this information and start to make a self-development plan for the future. You want to think about all the actionable steps that you can take to really, truly make this a reality. And I want to remind you that it is absolutely, positively never too late to make even immense changes in your life. Your life is always a work in progress. You are never stuck with decisions you made in the past, or you are never really a victim of your past. You can always create a new future self. Every single day that we wake up, we really have an opportunity to become a new person. So get excited about the future. Get excited about 2020. I am ecstatic about it. We get to design a whole new decade for ourselves. And remember that you and you alone get to decide what path you are going to take. You get to decide what you will be thinking, feeling, and experiencing. So make sure you use a lot of self-reflection and self-awareness as you design your decade, and just remember that the sky is the limit. So I hope this video was helpful to you, and if it was, please like it and share it with someone else who may need to hear this message today. Also, if you aren't already a subscriber, please go ahead and become one. We definitely want you to stay connected, and I thank you so much for spending time with me today. Have a truly extraordinary day.